Commercial operations. The Quraysh of Makkah used to fit out 2 commercial caravans, one to Syria during the summer and the other to Yemen during the winter season. The 4 months of Hajj, that is, Rajab, Dhul Qa'dah, Dhul Hijjah and Muharram, were deemed sacred when it was not lawful to engage in hostilities. During these months the precincts of the Holy Temple and the open place besides it were utilized as a trade center to which people from distant places came for transacting business. All the necessaries required by the Arabs were easily available in this market of Makkah. The stores for the sale of various commodities, located in different lanes and byways, mentioned by the historians, tend to show the economic and cultural growth of Makkah. The vendors of adders had their stalls in a separate bylane, and so were the shops of fruit sellers, barbers, grocers, fresh dates and other wares and trades localized in different alleys. A number of these markets were spacious enough, as, for example, the market set apart for food grains was well stocked with wheat, ghee, clarified butter, honey and similar other commodities. All these articles were brought by trading caravans. To cite an instance, wheat was brought to Makkah from Yamama. Similarly, cloth and shoe stores had separate quarters allocated to them in the market. Makkah had also a few meeting places where carefree young men used to come together for diversion and pastime. Those who were prosperous and accustomed to live high, spent the winter in Makkah and the summer in Taif. There were even some smart young men known for their costly and trim dresses costing several hundred dirhams. Makkah was the center of a lucrative trade transacting business on a large scale. Its merchants convoyed caravans to different countries in Asia and Africa and imported almost everything of necessity and costly wares marketable in Arabia. They usually brought resin, ivory, gold and ebony from Africa, hide, incense, frankincense, spices, sandalwood and saffron from Yemen, different oils and food grains, amur, silk and wines from Egypt and Syria, cloth from Iraq, and gold, tin, precious stones and ivory from India. The wheelier merchants of Makkah sometimes presented the products of their city, of which the most valued were leather products, to the kings and nobles of other countries. When the Quraysh sent Abdullah b. Abu Arabila and Amr b. al-As to Abyssinia to bring back the Muslim fugitives, they sent with them leather goods of Makkah as gifts to Negus and his generals. Women also took part in commercial undertakings and fitted out their own caravans bound for Syria and other countries. Khadija bint Khuwaylid and Hanzaliyah, mother of Abu Jahl, were 2 merchant women of dignity and wealth. The following verse of the Quran attests the freedom of women to ply a trade. Unto men a fortune from that which they have earned, and unto women a fortune from that which they have earned. Quran 4:32. Like other advanced nations of the then world, the commercially minded citizens of Makkah had based their economy on commerce, for which they sent out caravans in different directions, organized stock markets and created favorable conditions in the home market for the visiting tourists and traders. This helped to increase fame and dignity of Makkah as a religious center and contributed in no mean measure to the prosperity of the city. Everything required by the people of Makkah, whether a necessity or a luxury, reached their hands because of the city's commercial importance. This fact finds a reference in these verses of the Quran. So let them worship the Lord of this house, who hath fed them against hunger, and hath made them safe from fear. Quran 106:3-5. Economic conditions, weights and measures. Makkah was thus the chief center of business in Arabia, and its citizens were prosperous and wealthy. The caravan of the Quraysh, involved in the Battle of Badr while returning from Syria, consisted of 1,000 camels and carried merchandise worth 50,000 dinars. Both Byzantine and Sasanian currencies, known as dirham and dinar, were in general use in Makkah and other parts of the peninsula. Dirham was of 2 kinds. One of it was an Iranian coin known to the Arabs Bagliya and Sauda Idamiya, and the other was a Byzantine coin, Greek drachmi, which was called Tabriya and Byzantinia. These were silver coins, and therefore instead of using them as units of coinage, the Arabs reckoned their values according to their weights. The standard weight of dirham, according to the doctors of Islamic Sharia, is equal to 55 grains of barley, and 10 dirhams are equivalent in weight to 7 mithqals of gold. 1 mithqal of pure gold is, however, according to Ibn Khaldun, equal to the weight of 72 grains of barley. Doctors of law unanimously agree with the weight given by Ibn Khaldun. The coins in current use during the time of the Prophet, were generally silver coins. Atta states that the coins in general used during the period were not gold but silver coins. Ibn Abi Shah Iba, Volume 3, page 222. Dinar was a gold coin familiar to the Arabs as the Roman, Byzantine, coin in circulation in Syria and Hijaz during the pre-Islamic and early Islamic period. It was minted in Byzantium with the image and name of the emperor impressed on it as stated by Ibn Abi Dialbar in the Al-Tamhid. Old Arabic manuscripts mention the Latin denarius aureus as the Byzantine coin, synonymous with the post-Constantine soldus, which is stated to be the name of a coin still a unit of currency in Yugoslavia. The New Testament, too, mentions denarius at several places. Dinar was considered to have the average weight of 1 mithqal, which, as stated above, was equivalent to 72 grains of barley. It is generally believed that the weight standard of the dinar was maintained from the pre-Islamic days down to the 4th century of the Hijra. Dairat al-Ma'arif Islamiyya says that the Byzantine denarius weighed 425 grams and hence, according to the Orientalist Zambawar, the mithqal of Makkah was also of 425 grams. The ratio of weight between dirham and dinar was 7, low, and the former weighed 7/10 of a mithqal. The par value of the dinar, deduced from the hadith, fiqh and historical literature, was equivalent to 10 dirhams. Amr b Shuyeb, as quoted in the Sunan Abu Dawud, relates, the blood money during the time of the Prophet was 800 dinars or 8,000 dirhams, which was followed by the companions of the Prophet, until the entire Muslim community unanimously agreed to retain it. The authentic ahadith fix the nisab or the amount of property upon which zakat is due, in terms of dirham, at 20 dinars. This rule upheld by a consensus of the doctors of law goes to show that during the earlier period of Islamic era and even before it, a dinar was deemed to have a par value of 10 dirhams or other coins equivalent to them. Imam Malik says in the Muwatta that the accepted rule, without any difference of opinion, is that zakat is due on 20 dinars or 200 dirhams. The weights and measures in general use in those days were saa, mud, radal, uqiyah and mithqal, to which a few more were added later on. The Arabs also possessed knowledge of arithmetic, for it is evident that the Quran had relied on their ability to compute the shares of the legatees in promulgating the Islamic law of inheritance.